Callers 8 and 9 to 751-1041 will pick up both pick up a pair of tickets to Freud's last session again at the Arizona Theater Company. So here's an interesting convergence of topics. All right, ready? Last hour we were discussing the racist Volkswagen ad that really, it seems to apparently only be racist for a few people. Everybody else, including Jamaicans, seem to be totally and completely fine with it. But we got on the topic of accents and whether or not they're offensive. Somebody, by the way, did say that the gecko was British. And he is British. But again, it's a fictional character, it's CGI, so why's he got to be green? So here we go. The city defended its groundbreaking size limit on sugary drinks as an imperfect but meaningful rein on obesity. I love that, by the way. Totally admitting that the ban on sugary drinks is a lot of style over substance. You know, we know it's imperfect, but, our intention's good. While critics said it would hurt small business and minority-owned businesses while doing little to help health. The first courtroom arguments in the closely watched case ended without an immediate ruling. The NAACP's New York State branch and a network of Hispanic groups have joined the legal effort to block the first-of-its-kind restriction, igniting questions Wednesday about the group's ties to the beverage industry. Beverage makers, restaurateurs, minority advocates, and other critics told the judge the upcoming 16-ounce limit was a finger-waving incursion on consumer choice, rife with inconsistencies, and that it would cost a hot dog vendor business while still allowing New Yorkers to buy belly-buster sodas at chain convenience stores. Opponents' lawyers called him ham-handed, grossly unfair, and just plain silly. Oddly enough, also descriptions of this show. The suit filed by the American Beverage Association and others seems to block the restriction, set to take effect on March 12th. No immediate ruling took place. Opponents said they plan to ask the Supreme Court to put a hold until the case is decided. The city will impose such a move, Merrill said after the hearing. In explaining the cola crackdown, officials cite the city's rising obesity rate, points to studies linking sugary drinks to weight gain. Opponents portray the regulation as government nagging, the scapegoats, sugary drinks, and the multifaceted fat problem. Unsweetened juice, milk-based drink products are excluded. Health officials say they have nutritional value. The regulation also doesn't cover alcoholic drinks or sales at supermarkets and many convenience stores, among them the 7-Eleven, home of the Big Gulp. Now here's where we get the convergence. The NAACP and the Hispanic Federation, a network of 100 northeastern groups, say their concern is that minority-owned delis and corner shops would end up at a disadvantage compared to grocery store chains. That's right, they're making the ban on sugary drinks a racial issue. Others underscore the group's links to soda companies whose fight they've joined in. Among the ties, Coca-Cola announced last month it was giving a $100,000 grant to the NAACP in support of a healthy lifestyles program. PepsiCo gave the group more than $10,000 in 2010, according to the soda maker's website. TV producer Patrick is enjoying a fine Pepsi product in the form of a Mountain Dew. Not diet, by the way. I drink so little sodas now that even, like the other night, I haven't had, it's been like a week. I've just been drinking water with everything. And Melinda had her Why Bother soda, the caffeine-free diet Pepsi. I mean, it's even in the most plain container as well. It's just the Pepsi logo with the little gold rim on it, right? I had that. It was like, whew, that's sugary. Whereas if Patrick were to have that, he'd be like, whew, that's like drinking water. The groups were represented by a firm that also has a representative Coca-Cola. The regulations critics argue that the first-of-its-kind restriction should have gone before the elected city council instead of being approved by the Bloomberg-appointed Board of Health. During Bloomberg's 11-year tenure, the city has also made chain restaurants post calorie counts on their menus and barred artificial trans fat in French fries and other restaurant food. By the way, real quick, here's just a quick point. Bloomberg's 11-year tenure, Calorie counts, artificial trans fat bans in French fries, other restaurant food, sugary drinks, and yet the obesity rates keep rising? Yeah. I think thou dost protest too much. What are we saying? Stop telling people what to do. Give them back a little bit of, that personal responsibility, and maybe they'll end up making some better choices. Let's go and talk with Bill on the topic of accents. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Mon.
Good morning, John. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to call in and kind of address that whole issue that you were talking about with the feigned outrage over the accent. Almost, I don't know who the individual or individuals are complaining, but almost certainly liberal.
Sure.
And contrast that to white liberal politicians like Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden going into black communities and in front of black audiences, putting on a truly condescending accent and a naked attempt to manipulate these people and legitimize themselves. And it just cracks me up that, this is just completely overlooked, by
right.
media in general.
Well, Bill, I hate to burst your well thought out point bubble, but there's a difference here, Bill. They're liberals. They're allowed to do
Liberals.
that. They can do that. You can be as irrational, hypocritical as you want to be. They can do that. We can't. We're not allowed. Heaven forbid. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a different set of rules.
Absolutely.
Liberals.
Yeah.
But we can't stop doing good, so we have to point that out every time it happens and everywhere it happens.
Thank you for the call, Bill. Look. Somebody was going after me on Twitter the other day. Okay. And they brought up, and we talked about this in the show recently, the Joe Arpaio Pinata incident. By the way, I went on a